and today we are going to be doing the uncommons and commons for the Brothers War. We're just going to be talking about each of the commons and uncommons, just so you all have a basic idea of what's going on there.
Starting off, we're gonna go in with Obstinate Baloth, 2 in double green. When the Obstinate Baloth enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life.
And it's a 4/4.
And it's a 4/4, so already okay card. But then this is what makes it really good. If a dispel or an ability causes you to discard Obstinate Baloth, put it onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your graveyard. I know a lot of things that make you discard nowadays. Can't name them off the top of my head, but
Liliana.
Liliana, for example. Bam, onto the battlefield. Very nice.
And then next up is Obliterating Bolt, which for 1 red is a sorcery that deals 4 damage to a creature or planeswalker. If that creature or planeswalker would die, it gets exiled instead.
So, basically Flame Blessed Bolt, but for 2 mana and double the damage. Except it's a sorcery, so not as good.
Okay, that's pretty solid.
Still pretty solid.
Yeah. And then next up is No One Left Behind.
4 and a black. The spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature with mana value 3 or less.
And it's a sorcery.
It's a sorcery, sadly. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Okay, that's pretty good. But Monastery Swiftspear is up next, and that card's super solid. 1 red mana, 1/2 Human Monk, haste.
Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Also, this is a big mistake I know a lot of people have made. When they hear non-creature, they automatically assume instant or sorcery. But they forget about enchantments and artifacts. Remember that.
Or planeswalkers. Anything that's not a creature.
Yeah.
Next up is Mishra's Research Desk. One mana artifact.
And then with 1 tap, sacrifice Mishra's Research Desk. I cannot talk today. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them until the end of your next turn. You may play that card.
And then for 1 in a red, you can bring that card back to the battlefield
with haste.
But I mean it's an artifact; it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But that card, if it were to be put anywhere from the battlefield that turn, it gets exiled. So yeah, not great, but yeah. And then anyways, next up is Mishra Excavation Prodigy for
2 in a red.
2 in a red.
I'm dying here.
2 in a red.
Legendary creature, Human Artificer.
2/1.
2/1. Haste.
And you can pay 1 and tap.
Discard a card, draw a card. I feel like... Oh, and I forgot to say something. Whenever you discard 1 or more artifact cards, add double red. This ability triggered only once each turn. First, I thought it was a great card, but then I saw that it said only artifacts that you have to discard.
See, the thing that got me here is that it just says only once a turn. Personally, I just think this card sucks.
In an artifact deck, I think it's amazing, though. We have disagreeing opinions on it. Don't listen to either of us. Choose for your own.
Next up is... Jeez, okay, you just need to get some water. But anyways, next up is Meticulous Excavation. 1 white mana enchantment. It says, for 2 and a white, you can return a permanent you control to its owner's hand. If that card has Unearth, you instead exile it and return it to your hand.
So,
and then you
sweet.
Activate that only once a turn.
So you can make a red, black, white Unearth deck, and that is just good. Amazing.
Yeah?
Oh, remember that Phyrexian Dragon engine? You can get that back once they kill it, and you keep getting it back over.
No, from the battlefield.
Yeah. I know.
The card has to be on the...
I know, but like you unearth it, then you get it back, and then you just play it for its normal cost, then they kill it again. This vicious cycle for your enemies.
Oh, I thought you were saying, like, once this card dies, you can pay this card to bring it back. I mean, I like this card, but I think it's not great in white. I think it could be better in, like, red or black. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Next up is Mass Production. 5 and a white sorcery. Create 4 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens.
Not that great. 6 mana and you only get 4 power for it. Yes, you have a lot of chump blockers, but meh.
That's not very good at sorcery speed. Next up is Mask of the Jade Crafter. 2 mana artifact that for X you can tap and sack it. Make an XX colorless golem artifact creature token. only activate as a sorcery.
But the sweet part about this card is that it's Unearth for 2 and a green. So of course you can make 2 decent, like one turn you make a massive golem. The second turn you have a 3 power less golem. Still pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid card in my opinion.
And it's 2 drops, so remember that.
Next up is Lauren, Disciple of History. 3 and a white, 3/3 legendary human artificer that when it enters or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, you return an artifact from your graveyard to your hand.
Meh. I don't feel like legendaries combo with artifact whatsoever nowadays. So really, dog doo-doo card.
Yeah, that card stinks. Next up is a card I do think is good.
Pretty sweet.
Levitating Statue, 2 mana artifact with flying. Yeah, that sounds weird.
So you're probably thinking, well, why would that be a thing?
Well, for
it doesn't
2
have
mana,
power and toughness.
For 2 mana, you can turn it into a 1/1 artifact creature until the end turn.
And we didn't mention this. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on Levitating Statue. In an artifact, this is an artifact, so this would be in an artifact deck. Gets bigger. Again, non-creature spell does not mean instant or sorcery.
See, the thing that I'm thinking about with this card, picture this in an Urza deck, a white and blue Urza deck, where you're playing tons of instants, sorceries, and artifacts. You're doing that every turn. This card keeps getting bigger, and this can be a really good way to finish out the game and kill your opponent, and it's got evasion.
I feel like it's very overlooked and from all the YouTuber standpoints.
Yeah, I think this card is incredibly powerful. Next up is another card that I like.
Call back to Swords to the Plowshares or whatever it's called. I don't know what the card.
Swords to Plowshares. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously not as good, but yeah.
It's not as...
1 white mana, sorcery. Unlike that card, which was an instant. Well, is an instant. And it says, exile a creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of planes you control. Its controller gains 3 life.
So
that's solid.
Solid card, especially for standard and mono white, because we all know what mono white does, and this one right here hates mono white.
Yeah, I despise it. And of course, they keep getting exile effects. Why can't anything else get an exile effect? Like black or black?
Like black or black.
Anyways, next up is Keeper of the Cadence. Of the Cadence. 4 and a blue.
Amazing card.
I've never read it.
3 colors. Put target artifact, instant, or sorcery card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. So don't you know, the only downside is it's 5 mana, but all that nonsense with Unearth...
It is a 2/5 human wizard, which is nice.
Yeah, and all that nonsense of Unearth, bye-bye, gone. Not happening today, friend.
I mean, in a budget deck, maybe, but I think that card absolutely sucks. I mean, it's 5 mana. It's 5 mana. It's a 2/5, and for 3 mana, you can like put something on. I don't know.
Yeah, mono green is pretty good.
Yeah, mono green is good. Mono green should get an exile effect.
No.
Wizards of the Coast, make that possible. Make an exile effect for green.
They don't even have destroy. Why would you expect them to get exile?
Well, they technically have both.
They destroy flying.
They technically have both.
What?
For artifacts and enchantments. Never. That does technically get rid of stuff.
Moving on.
Junkyard Genius? Yeah, Genius. I thought that said Genesis.
Okay, 1 in Rakdos. You hopefully
1 black red.
Yeah. When Junkyard Genius enters the battlefield, create a tap Power Stone token. It's
2/2.
It's an artifact with tap, add a colorless. This mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. 1 red and black. Sacrifice another creature or artifact until end of turn. Other creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain menace and haste. Pretty sweet.
That's a pretty solid card in the Anvil deck. Yeah, in the Anvil deck. Because it makes an artifact that you can sacrifice.
It leaves the battlefield.
Yeah.
It's a 1/1, and then it's a cycle of you keep getting the 1/1s every turn, sacrificing them, getting them.
Well, that's not the thing I was thinking about. I mean, that too, but that's a card that you can sacrifice to this card to make your creatures +1/+0 and menace, which is nice. But anyways, next up is Iron Craw Crusher, 7 mana, 4/6 artifact worm, that when it attacks, target attacking creature gets +X/+0. And
until end of turn, where X is Iron Crusher's power, and it has prototype for 2 and double green, and it's a 2/5.
With all the same abilities.
Pretty sweet.
Personally, like, I kind of like the prototype cards, but, I mean, except for a few, I thought that they were going to be good, but I don't know. They're, like, the potential, like, I like prototype, the ability, just the cards with prototype.
Except for Fire X
Like,
and
they
Flesh
suck.
Gorger, that's a bomb.
Oh, yeah, I was like, wait, what? But, yeah, no, I thought you were talking about Dragon Engine for some weird reason. But anyways, I mean, yeah, prototype's cool and all, but not for every card. But anyways, next up is Involuntary Cooldown. I can't say words tonight. 3 and blue, sorcery. There are a lot of sorceries so far. Tap up to 2 target artifacts and or creatures.
Put 2 stun counters on each of them. Meh. Doo-doo.
Stun counters, basically, if they were to untap during your turn.
A stun counter instead.
Yeah, I mean, stun counters, it's like a way to just slow down the game, but I mean, in the long run, it's not really worth it. I mean, this card may be in limited, but still. I mean, that card to me...
Dog doo-doo.
Yeah, absolutely stinks. Next up, a card... this card could be good. This card could not be good. I don't know. Hulking Metamorph, 9 mana, 7/7 artifact, creature shapeshifter. And basically, when it enters as a copy of an artifact or creature you control.
Except if it's an artifact creature in addition to its other types, and its power and toughness are equal to Hulking Metamorph's power and toughness. So basically, you only want to use this on non-creature artifacts, so you can get some sweet abilities out of them. For example, I don't really know any because I only Portal to Phyrexia, yeah. Isn't that a non-legendary artifact?
Yeah, that's a non-legendary.
Yeah, use it on Portal to Phyrexia if you're going to do anything.
And this card also has prototype for 2 and double blue for a 3/3.
Still, Portal to Phyrexia, that's amazing.
I don't know. This card to me, it's just like, I don't know.
Amazing.
There's already copy effects in standard right now, and I don't really like it. I mean, it's cool, but not great.
Stone Seeker.
This is a neat card.
1 in a red. Menace. When Stone Seeker enters the battlefield, create a tapped Power Stone token. Oh, that is really nice ramp for... that's scary.
So 2 mana 2/2 Menace. When it enters, you make a Power Stone. When it leaves, you sack said Power Stone. But hey, that's pretty good, especially in a limited event. But I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not the best card in the world, but it's still cool. Yeah. Still cool. It's not great, but yeah. And Barrel House, yeah, it sucks that they couldn't make it here tonight, but hopefully you'll get to watch it later. But anyways, next up is Hero of the Dunes, 3 white, black, 3/2 human soldier. Already sucks.
Nope, and he does not read the whole card. When Hero of the Dunes enters the battlefield, return target artifact or creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Creatures you control with mana value 3 or less get +1/+0. So all those cheap 3 drops and 2 drops and 1 drops now become 2 1s or 4 2s or something like that. All amazing. He is not smart. It's okay, little boy. It's okay. Moving on. Heavyweight Demolisher. I don't know if you flipped me off or not.
I didn't even flip you off. I slapped him in the back of the head.
7 colorless, Menace at the beginning of your upkeep. Tap Heavyweight Demolisher unless you pay 3 colorless. What the fuck?
What the
hell? Apparently, I just somehow managed to get into my phone and butt dial somebody.
Okay, let's just put that over there. Anyways, so this card...
7 colorless. Artifact Creature Construct. At the beginning of your upkeep, tap Heavyweight Demolisher unless you pay 3 colorless. I feel like that's
and it's got on there for 6 and double red.
That
sucks.
That
sucks. Why is this a card?
That should be a common at max.
I mean...
there should be a special rarity of dog doo-doo. This should be in the dog doo-doo category.
No, this should just be a card that never got printed.
No, it should just be there for the memes. Now, this card...
Haywire Might. 1 mana, 1/1 artifact creature insect. When it dies, not enters, when it dies, you gain 2.
Sacrifice Haywire might exile target non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment.
So
pretty sweet. Exiling green
does kind of have exile
for the most limited amount, but still.
It does have exile, Barrel House. It has exile.
Now that I can see being used on Portal to Phyrexia.
Or just any other kind of broken artifact, like Reckoner Bankbuster, because that's not technically a creature, it's a vehicle. But anyways, next up is Gurgling Anointer. 2 and a black, 1/3 Phyrexian Horror with flying. That when you draw your second card each turn, gets a 1/1 counter on it.
Okay, already pretty sweet. When Gurgling Anointer dies, return another target creature with mana value less than or equal to Gurgling Anointer's power from the graveyard to the battlefield. What the hell, man? This should be a rare.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid card. I mean, it starts off as a 1/3 and gets bigger over time. Not bad, weren't.
Colorful what?
What? What did you say, Barrel House? Like I heard something like
colorful.
Metaphor. Metaphor.
What colorful? Okay.
What metaphor?
I don't know.
What metaphor did we say?
That should be a rare.
It's a really good uncommon. Yeah. 2 minutes.
What? We're so confused.
Yeah, what are you saying, Barrel House? Just elaborate, Barrel House. But anyways, next up, Gruesome Realization. 1 double black sorcery again.
Choose 1. You draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. It's multi-purpose. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end turn. So
he double LL.
What? What are you talking about?
Okay, whatever.
Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Okay, that's multi-purpose.
Solid.
Yeah,
that's solid.
Especially for all the token bull cruddy you can do in standard nowadays.
Next up, Great Desert Prospector.
4 and a white. When it enters the battlefield, create a tap power stone for each other creature you control. That's amazing. Ramp. Imagine that with Awaken the Woods.
That's
sweet.
That's solid.
That's
pretty
not a rare, but that's a high tier.
Why did you say that goes well with Awaken the Woods?
You create tons of creatures.
Non-artifact.
Create tap for each other creature you control.
Oh, I was like, you can use that mana to ramp into Awaken the Woods, and I was like,
no, I meant like the creature you create with Awaken the Woods.
And then you get tons and tons of power stones from this card. Yeah.
I'm noticing a thing.
Ramp.
I feel like Awaken the Woods isn't actually meant as a ramp card. It's meant as a ramp card that goes with power stones, not all the other stuff that people think it goes with. Because I've noticed a lot of cards. Right, listen to me.
You think people don't think about Sarenth Great Worm?
I know, but I've heard a lot of people say like,
think about the things like when a creature enters, this happens or that happens. You get bonuses from the creatures entering. That's what people care about, not the lands. Okay, anywho. Next up is Go for the Throat. In my opinion, one of the best uncommons in the entire set. Hands down. 1 black instant.
Basically Power Word Kill, but worse. Do you remember that Power Word?
What? No, it's better. Okay, 1 and a black instant. Destroy an non-artifact creature. Okay, think about that. There aren't that many artifact creatures played in Standard. I mean, there are, but not that.
Phyrexian Flesh Gorger.
I haven't seen anyone play that card yet.
This man doesn't play Arena. He doesn't know what's going on.
I play Paper because I'm smart.
He only plays with one person.
I play with more than... I play with you. I play with my dad. I play with people on Arena like once a month.
Yeah. And you haven't played it this month yet, have you?
Huh.
Moving on.
I don't care. Next up, 9 Vermin.
1 black mana, 1/1 creature rat. When 9 Vermin enters the battlefield, target player mills 2 cards.
When it dies,
target creature you don't control gets -1/-1 until end turn.
What was that burp? Target creature dies. Target creature dies until...
No, when 9 Vermin dies, target creature you don't control gets +1 or -1/-1.
+1/+1. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why do you make your opponent's creatures bigger? What's wrong with you, man?
-1/-1 until end of turn. It's a callback to Shambling Gas. Not that great though, because you can't make the treasure.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, no.
Really simple card.
Giant Cinderclaw. I actually like this card a lot.
It's amazing. It already has better.
2 in a green. I'm sorry, 2 in a red, 4/3 trample.
So that's
Dinosaur
already amazing.
Beast.
That's
Pretty
already
cool.
amazing. And this is in red, so you're not gonna be getting much life.
Players can't gain life. So
all
there's
that
this.
Phyrexian Flesh Gordon nonsense and the white life gain.
I mean, there was this card printed way back in Ixalan. I think it was called like Rampaging Ferocidon or something like that. But basically, like, it was the same thing as this card. It was a dinosaur and whatnot. It didn't have trample, but it did some other stuff, and it was rare. But hey, this card's an uncommon.
And it has better stats than its mana value, and that's always a dead giveaway.
Yeah, that's always a good little kind of thing. Next up, Gaia's Courser, 4 in a green, 4/5 Centaur Soldier that when it attacks.
More graveyard value. If there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, draw a card. So every turn, if you have a mill deck, you're drawing cards every turn.
And yet, I played this card, and I could never draw a card with it.
In
my
limited?
deck. Yeah, and I played 6 cards in that game and said, hey, you want to mill 2 cards? You want to mill 3 cards? You want to mill 4 cards? And hey, guess what? Guess what? I never got 3 creatures when I ran 14 creatures in the deck.
So, that's possible.
So, over a fourth of the deck, there should be. See, I mean,
moving on. Moving on. 2 in a blue. Look at the top.
Forging the Anchor.
Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of artifact cards from among them and the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order.
And it's a sorcery.
That's
Again,
amazing. That's amazing.
It's a good card, but it's a sorcery.
Why sorcery?
Why are there so many sorceries in uncommon? There's like no instance. I say that, and here's an instant.
And then it's just like instant, friend.
You get an instant. You get an instant. No more sorcery. Okay, anyways.
4 in a blue.
Flow for knowledge.
Draw a card for each island you control. Then
No, draw a card. Oh, wait, no. I read that card.
For each island you control,
I read that card.
then discard 2 cards. Amazing.
That's
mono
a
blue.
pretty good card.
Remember the mono blue deck with Hadi de Jin? Imagine.
Hadi de Jin.
Scary.
Hadi de Jin.
Eh?
Hadi de Jin. I'm pretty sure you said that wrong, my friend. I'm
What
pretty
did I
sure
say?
you Hadi de Jin. It's Hadi Jin, not Hadi de Jin.
What?
You said Hadi de Jin, not Hadi Jin.
There's going to be a lot of arguing in this stream. But moving on.
Next up is Phalagi Vanguard, which I've only seen one of in the entire 20 packs I've opened of this set.
2 red and a white when Phalagi Vanguard or another creature enters the battlefield under your control. Target creature gets +2/+0 until.
Oh, I thought they said creatures. My brain.
Oh, that's
Whenever
amazing.
it or another creature you control enters, target creature gets +2/+0 until the end of turn.
That's scary. That's scary, man.
Yeah. I mean, cool. Not great. Because it doesn't give, like, any other stats or anything. But
3 and double green.
Phalagi Excavation. Say the name first.
I don't like to. Phalagi Excavation. Yeah, that's a word.
Excavation.
3 and double green.
And you complain that I can't say words.
Create 3 tap Power Stone tokens. You gain 3 life. You all know what a Power Stone is. Move on.
I mean, that card sucks.
Okay.
Phalagi Dragon Engine. 8 mana, 5/5 artifact dragon with flying that you can pay 2 to give +1/+0 until the end of turn. Or for 2 in a red. It's a 1/3 that does the same.
Dog
Sucks.
doo. That's a
Awful.
comment if I've ever seen
Awful.
one.
That sucks. Let's get it out of here.
No.
Here's a good uncommon.
What?
Evangel of Synthesis.
One
blue, one black.
When an Evangel.
Phyrexian Human Cleric.
Creature.
Evangel of Synthesis.
When it enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. As long as you've drawn two or more cards this turn, Evangel of Synthesis gets +1/+0 and has Menace.
So it has the potential to be a 2 mana 3/3 with Menace.
Every turn. That's easy to pull off in
blue and black.
Yeah.
And if you put this in a deck with white in it and you put in Raffine.
Even Esper. Well, you said white. I have to explain.
It's blue and black You add white, you get blue, white, black.
Esper.
It's called Color Edition.
It's called Esper.
It's called Color Edition.
It's called Esper.
Blue plus black plus white
It's
equals
Esper.
Simple. Okay, anyways, just stop listening to us doing whatever.
Steel and oil. We're gonna move on. One black. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact.
Sorcery. Again.
Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature card from it. Then choose an artifact or creature card from their graveyard. Exile the chosen cards. Pretty nice for one black man. We're moving on.
Yeah. Why? Are you having like a sugar high or something? Here.
I just want to get the stream done with.
We're only 25 minutes in. You realize we got like another 2 hours.
I know. For Disciples of Gix.
Just
for
here, let you take a break and I'll say the words.
All right, I'm leaving.
Bye. That's not what I meant, but that's not what I'm. Okay. Well, I guess I'm doing the stream on my own now. 4 and double black. 4/4 Phyrexian human that when it enters, search your library for up to 3 artifact cards, put them into your graveyard, then shuffle. I mean, good card and all, but the second you left, a second person came in, and the second I was about to say that, they oh wait, no, the second person's back. Never mind. But anyways, I guarantee that person's gonna leave the second you rejoin. All right, 3, 2, 1. They didn't leave. Okay. Okay. Anyways, next up is Demolition Field. It's a land that you can tap for a colorless mana or pay 2, tap it, sack it, destroy a non-basic land.
An opponent controls. That land's controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. You may search your library.
It's the same thing as Field of Ruin. It's the exact same thing.
The same card.
Yeah.
Why did they not just reprint it? I guess we'll never know.
I mean, now you can have 8 lands that do that in your deck.
I guess you can basic check your opponent a lot. Defabricate, 1 in a blue, counter target artifact or enchantment spell.
And it's an instant for once.
If a spell is countered this way, exile it instead. Well, of course it's an instant. It's a counter spell. Well, exile instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Counter target activated or triggered ability.
Pretty good card. The only thing that stinks is like it can't counter like a creature or planeswalker or something.
Well, that would be countering every spell, and that's broken.
I know, but like it can't be put in as many decks because like if you take away one, whatever, it doesn't. No, stop getting distracted by your phone. Okay, anyways, next up, Dad, Aaron. Okay, anyways, next up. Cradle Clear Cutter. 6 mana, 3/6 artifact golem. You can tap it and add an amount of green equal to this card's power. Wow, tap it, add 3 green mana. I mean, that's cool and all,
and it's 6 mana. That's actually really good.
And you can also say...
But it's a low tier.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We just wanted to do it tonight because...
We're bored.
Because I want to, and he said, hey, no, we didn't finish it. For 2 and a green, it's a 1/3 that has all the same abilities.
Prototype.
Now we finished it. Yeah, for the prototype.
Oh!
Corrupt. Super cool reprint. I like this
5 and 1 black.
Sorcery, again.
Corrupt deals damage to any target equal to the number of swamps you control. You gain life equal to the damage dealt that way. That's definitely going in my mono black deck.
That solid card. That, to me, I mean, it's 6 mana, sure. But, I mean, it's just a flavorful card.
Combat Thresher, what the heck?
Combat Thresher. 7 mana.
7 colors.
7 mana, 3/3.
With double strike when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. And for 2 and 1 white.
It's a 1/1 with the same.
It's prototype. You all know
I mean, cool.
But you can pump it to the moon.
Not great. Maybe you should just cover the commons tonight. You don't have to tie Aaron to the chair.
No.
I mean, you can just leave. You can just leave, and I'll do all the cards for the next 2 hours. I'll probably get it done quicker. No, I'm joking. I'm just being mean. Next up is Calamity's Wake.
Really
1 and a white,
card.
instant. Exile all graveyards.
Players can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Exile Calamity's Wake. I'm making an executive decision. We're only covering commons tonight. I mean, uncommons, so we can do commons tomorrow. He will agree, right?
No.
Timmy?
No.
Timmy!
Just get it done. Let's just get it done tonight. Let's just get it all done
I'm
tonight.
bored. So bored.
We're just gonna get it all done tonight. Next up is Bushwhack. 1 green mana sorcery. You either search for a basic, reveal it, put it into your hand.
Or a fight spell.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah. Pretty solid card. Blanchwood Armor is up next.
2 and a green.
Good idea, Aaron. No, don't agree with him. Don't agree with him. I want my 100th video to be a deck tech video that I don't want anyone to know about yet. So we're getting it all done tonight.
Okay, 2 and a green.
Enchantment Aura.
Enchanted creature gets +1/+1, and you probably think that's terrible. For each forest you control. Amazing.
Also, Awaken the Wood combo again. I think you should do
we should do that.
Do a live feed covering the best cards. Here, okay, so yeah, let's make it simpler for all of us, because, I mean, none of us really care about that many of the commons in this set. Once we're done with all the uncommons, we'll just cover the best commons. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Then it won't take another hour.
We don't know all the good commons.
Yeah, but we'll just do this thing called scrolling.
We'll do another live stream.
No, we'll just scroll.
We'll do another live stream.
It's so simple. You just scroll.
Okay.
Guys,
Okay.
You're going to have to wait a couple seconds in between cards. Are you okay with that? I don't expect a response. Anyways, next up is
Battlefield Butcher.
Yeah,
2
Battlefield
black,
Butcher.
5 colors. Tap. Each opponent loses 2 life. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each creature card in your graveyard. That could be 0 mana. Your opponent loses 2 life and tapping.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
But you have to have those 5 creatures in the graveyard, and there's a lot of exile effects in Standard right now.
Yeah, there is.
There are way too many. There are way too many.
Battery Bearer. 2 green and a blue. Creatures you have control have tap, add a colorless. This mana can't be cast.
Basically, your creatures are power stones. And it's a 3/4 human artificer. And whenever an artifact spell with mana value 6 or greater is played, draw a card.
By yourself. Whenever you cast an artifact spell with mana value 6 or greater.
That's pretty solid. And here's a sweet card, Audacity. 1 green mana enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +2/+0 and trample. And when this card would leave, would be put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card.
Sweet little throwback to Rancor.
But it's a little bit worse, but it's still good. It's still really good. Next up is Ashnod's Harvester, 2 mana, 3/1.
When it enters, when it
attacks,
exile target card from a graveyard is a 3/1, unearth 1 and a black. You know what unearth is. Bye.
What? Oh, I was like, wait, we're not ending the live stream, dang it.
3 in a red.
Aram's Race, enchantment.
Aram's Race, arms.
I know how to pronounce words.
Anyways, you may put 3 in a red. You may put an artifact card from hand onto the battlefield. That artifact gains haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of next end step. Pretty amazing to cheat in a Portal to Phyrexia in desperate times. Desperate times calls for desperate measures.
Here's a cool card, Argivian Avenger. You should do Wednesday or Thursday night live. Okay. I don't know what that.
Basically, cover the best standard deck possible. We don't know that, so we'll try and make that while you're gone.
I have already made that deck. I don't know what you're talking about. It's called Mishra. I'm not gonna say exactly what it is, but I mean, you all know it involves black and red, but it involves another color.
White.
No. Why would it involve white?
Have you seen how many token generators are in white?
I don't care about the token generators. I care about the aggro, the power.
Well, then green.
No.
Blue?
No. I'm joking. Okay, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But anyways, next up, Argivian Avenger. 6 mana, 5/5. Artifact Shapeshifter. Pay 1. Give it -1/-1 until the end of turn. And your choice of Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, or Haste.
Really dog doo-doo card. No, it literally becomes, it's 6 mana, it's a 5/5.
Okay. Here,
and
I'm sorry, everybody, but you're gonna have to witness a murder on this live stream.
And for 1 mana,
that's such good card. Okay.
And for 1 mana, you have to make it a 4/4 with Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, or Haste. That's dog doo-doo.
I can't wait to beat you up with that card in a game.
I'd like to see him try. It will go on MTG Arena once he gets more wild cards, and we'll see. We'll face off against each other.
All right, bet. Okay. Anyways, next up is We're not gonna pronounce that.
Arbalest Engineers, one red and a green. One Arbalest Engineers enters battlefield. Choose one. Arbalest Engineers deals 1 damage to any target. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature, gains trample and haste until end of turn, or create a tap Power Stone.
Gains trample and haste.
Always choose the middle one.
Excuse me.
Always choose the middle one every time.
Excuse me. Next up, Alloy Animist. This card sucks. 1 green mana, 1/1 human druid. You can pay 2 and a green to until the end turn. A non-artifact creature becomes a 4/4 until the end turn. That sucks.
No, that's actually really good.
Bad Aaron. Why do you think that card's good? Okay, anyways, next up, Zephyr Sentinel. 1 in a blue, 2/1 human soldier, flash flying.
When it enters, return up to 1 other target creature you control to its owner's hand. If it was a soldier, put a 1/1 counter on Zephyr Sentinel.
That's the card I killed you with last night.
Yeah, that's 2 mana, 3/2 basically with flash
flying.
And flying. Flash too. Especially.
That's not good.
That's not
at
good
all.
at all.
That
totally
card
not
sucks.
good.
Yoshin Tactician is up next. 2 white blue, 3/4 human soldier.
Other soldiers you control get +1/+1.
That card is good if you don't want to spend money, or in your case, wild cards to get Mural, I guess. Next
you
up,
mean the siege veteran thingy, not siege veteran, the other veteran.
Mural Shield of Argad. That's the card I'm talking about.
It does not give your soldiers +1/+1.
No, but like it'd be a good alternative because I mean it doesn't make soldiers, but it makes your soldiers a little bit bigger, which is still good.
Yeah, I guess.
So
one colorless, 1/1.
Yoshin
Frontliner.
Frontliner, okay.
Artifact creature soldier. Whenever Yoshin Frontliner attacks another target creature you control, it's +1/+1 until end of turn. For 1 white, it's an unearthed card.
Okay. Next up is a Yoshin Dissident. 1 green, 1 white, 1/1 human artificer. When an artifact enters under your control, put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control.
Amazing.
That card is solid, especially with a card like Teething Wormlet, which gets a +1/+1 counter when an artifact enters. So double counters.
Dual counters. That's amazing.
Double counters whenever an artifact enters under your control.
Now we're going to the time traveling cards, and by that I mean like the card from Teferi Time Traveling or whatever it was. I forget.
What? No, this is Urza Power Stone Prodigy.
Yeah,
How is
from
this?
earlier. This is Urza from younger, meaning they would have had to time travel because you can't have the old ass Urza and the young Urza in the same time period. Now can you?
It's showing the young, the middle, and the old.
What?
It's showing them in the set as like the story progresses. This set isn't all like this all happens exactly during the Brothers' War. It's telling the story of the Brothers' War. Okay. You all understand.
Vigilance, draw a card, then discard a
Urza
card.
Power Stone Prodigy, 2 and a blue.
Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, create a tap
Artifact cards.
artifact card. Oh, so this is like the...
It's the same thing as Mishra, except it's got Vigilance, and when you discard an artifact, you get a tap Power Stone. It's worse.
It combos with Mishra. It's almost like, since they're brothers, they originally liked each other! I never would have guessed! Transmorgan Altar.
Transmogrant. Transmogrant. Transmogrant.
3 colorless, black tap,
You can
sacrifice.
pay a black and tap it and sack.
That's in standard.
Triple colorless?
What?
Okay, picture a way to untap this card. I wonder. Not in standard, but in any other format like Commander.
What?
What is this card? You can add infinite colorless mana so easily.
Yeah.
And you can pay 2, tap, sack, wait.
Sacrifice a creature.
You can pay 2, tap, sack a creature. Oh, wait, no.
Create a 3/3 colorless zombie artifact creature token. That's amazing.
Activate only as a source sheet, but the thing I was thinking, wait a minute, you can tap 2, make a 3/3 zombie, you can pay a black, tap, sack it, add 3 colorless, keep making zombies, keep sacking, but yeah, you have to sack a creature into both of the
cards,
things.
I'm pretty sure that say
But still.
whenever it enters battlefield, untap whenever a creature enters the battlefield, untap something. Those are probably mythic cards.
Thran Vigil is up next. One
One
black
black-
enchantment.
whenever
Whenever
one
one or more artifact and or creature cards leave the graveyard during your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. That was
Meh.
hard to do. That card, to me,
Pretty
sucks.
solid. No, whenever one or more for all the exile effects.
Yeah.
You're right. It is pretty dog dude. I thought it said whenever any, and it did multiple times, not just.
That's
one
not a
more.
very good card. And then next up is Thran Power Suit. 2 mana artifact equipment with equip for 2. The equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it, and has Ward 2.
So that's amazing in equipment decks, but there's
Which
no
is not in standard.
Yeah.
It's in commander. Because it's always got to be in commander. Next up, Thopter Mechanic. 1 and a blue, 2/1 Human Artificer. When you draw your second card each turn,
Ooh, that's amazing.
you put a 1/1 counter on it, and when it
when
dies,
create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying.
get your phone away. Or put
Thopter
your phone away.
Architect, 3 and a white. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gains flying until end of turn. It's a 2/3.
And it's a 2. Yeah, it's
Meh,
a 2/3.
meh,
That card stinks.
Doo-doo.
Third Path
Path,
Iconoclast? Yeah,
Path,
Iconoclast.
Is it? If you know what that is.
1 blue, 1 red.
Just learn is it.
2. No, not everyone needs to learn these things.
Yes, you do. If you're ever going to be a Magic YouTuber, you have to know, like, the color
Yeah, but
combinations.
are the people watching this Magic YouTube?
Maybe. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token.
He's just not educated in the world of Magic the Gathering.
I don't like him. He's a meanie.
Yes, I am. Anyways, next up
The Fall
is...
of Krug.
This card sucks.
4
4 double red.
red.
Choose an opponent. Destroy
Target land that creature
that player.
controls. Fall of Krug deals 3 damage to that player and 1 damage to each creature.
It's a sorcery. It
But
costs
for
6 mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Meh.
card sucks.
Doo-doo.
That card absolutely stinks. Next up is Take Flight, 3 and a blue, enchant aura, enchant creature that enchanted creature gets +1/+0 flying, and when
Whenever
it
it's-
attacks, draw a card.
Actually, pretty solid, but it's 4 mana.
Yeah, it's 4 mana. It'd be better if it were like 3 mana, but yeah, I mean it's good. It's not great. I like
Symmetrics.
reconstructed Thopter over the other 21 blue. What other 21 blue?
Okay, we have no idea what you mean.
Symmetry Matrix.
4 colorless. Whenever a creature with power equal to
It's
its
an
toughness
artifact.
enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 if you
With
do draw.
power and toughness equal to one another.
Yeah. If you may pay 1 if you do draw a card.
So that card stinks. That card's not good. Why is that a card? But anyways, next up is Suchi Cave
Well, no,
Guard.
that's amazing with token generators.
2/1. What?
No.
No. No. Yeah. Barrel House just said 2/1, and I was like, what?
I have no idea what that means.
Suchi
Eight
Cave Guard. 8 mana, 8/8 artifact construct with vigilance and ward
Ward
4.
When it becomes, you know what ward is. When Suchi Cave Guard dies, add 8.
Colorless mana.
What? What?
It wouldn't be bad, but there aren't very many power and toughness cards the same in the set. Yeah, that's true. Symmetry
Yeah.
Matrix is a good card, it's just not good in this set.
Well, except for
But-
all the token generators in standard. If it's,
Yeah.
it's terrible and limited though.
Suchi Cave Guard, when it dies, you add 8 colorless mana. That mana doesn't go away as Steps and Faces end. It goes
What?
away at
But
the end of
Jesus.
turn, but hey, guess what? You
Portal
get
to
8 colorless
Phyrexia.
mana when this card dies. You add 1 more mana to that. Portal to Phyrexia.
Let's go.
And if you discard this and bring it back with all the cards that can bring back artifacts and enchantments into play in this set, well,
Amazing.
ramp galore. Next up is Steel Exemplar, 5 mana, 4/4 artifact wizard with trample. That when it enters, it enters with 2+1/+1 counters on it. If,
2 or
The-
more mana.
if
2 or more colors of mana. Wait,
weren't spent to cast it.
were
So,
spent to cast it.
no.
Were.
Unless it enters with 2+1/+1 counters on it, unless 2 or more colors were spent to cast it.
Okay.
So, it enters with 2 counters in a mono deck, but not in any other deck. That's all you need to know. It's good in like a mono green deck with all the enchantment stuff because it's a 5-man 6/6 with trample. That's a pretty solid card. That is a solid card. Next up is nope, never mind. That's not the card I was thinking of. Static Net, 3 white enchantment. What is?
When Static Net enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Static Net leaves the battlefield. When Static Net enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and create. That's amazing.
4 mana, exile, non-land permanent effect, and you gain
2 life and create a tap power stone. What? That's amazing.
A good card.
That's like Borrowed Time, but a little better.
Yeah, I mean it's 4 mana, but that's still good. Next up,
Spotter Softer, 8 colorless, 4/5.
That's weird.
8 colorless, 4/5.
Flyer.
Flying when enter battlefield. Scree X where X equals.
Scry.
Okay.
X, where X is its power, and you can pay 2, 3.
3 and a blue. It's a 2/3. That's terrible.
This card is awful. This card sucks.
Dude.
Why is this? Yeah, this is almost worse than the last prototype card that we covered. Splitting the Power Stone.
That's gonna
up
be
next.
terrifying. I bet.
No, I guarantee it. Yeah, in lore. Yeah. 2 and a blue sorcery as an additional cost to cast this spell. Sack an artifact. Create a two tap Power Stones. If a legendary artifact was sacked this way,
a legendary
draw a
artifact.
card. Now, if the sacrificed artifact was legendary, draw a card.
Yeah, no one's gonna sacrifice a legendary artifact. Actually, that's pretty. That's still pretty good.
2 and a blue, sack an artifact, create 2 tap Power Stones.
Pretty
Decent
nice.
ramp. Not great, but half decent.
Not great, not bad.
Next up is Spectrum Sentinel, 1 mana.
Protection from multicolored.
1/2 artifact soldier, protection from multicolored. When a non-basic land enters under an opponent's control, you gain 1 life.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's return on basic. That's amazing. I did not read that right. I forgot about how many non-basics there were in standard right now.
That's a good card. That's a good card because not many basics are played.
So that's protection from all the multicolors, like Void Rend.
Or a card that's gonna be after this one. Slagstone Refinery. 4 mana artifact. I can't read this card.
Whenever Slagstone Refinery or another non-token artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield or is put into exile from the battlefield, create a tap Power Stone. That's really good. Okay. There's a lot of ways to destroy artifacts in standard right now.
Next up is the card I was saying that would have protection. That the exempt, whatever the card was, the protection from multicolored.
2
it has
black and a
from
green,
this.
so Golgari. Reach when Skyfisher enters the battlefield.
You can sack another
creature. When you do, destroy target non-land permanent. When it dies, you may gain 1 life for each creature card in your graveyard. If you do, exile Skyfisher.
This card's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's a really good uncommon. That's a really solid uncommon. I mean, you know what thing I've noticed? Just about every single multicolored card that we've seen in this set is solid. But all the monocolors, the artifacts suck in this set. The artifacts really suck in this set. The monocolors, a lot of them suck. But anyways, next up is Sarenth Steel Seeker, 1 and a green, 1/2 human artificer scout.
Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, it comes to a card of your library. If it's a land card, you may reveal and put it into your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, you may put it into your graveyard.
That card is that card sucks. Next up is Sardian Cliff Stomper, 1 and a red,
0/4.
0/4.
As long as your turn, you control
Green
4.
is great. Barrel House. Green's good. Green is good.
As long as your turn, you control 4 or more mountains. Sardian Cliff Stomper gets +X over X number of. That's doo doo. Actually, no, that could be a 2 mana 4/4.
Good card.
That could be a 2 mana 4/4. Actually,
that's a good card. And with that card that we saw earlier, where you sack, like, let's say this is in a black and red deck, you sack a card, and that card gives all your creatures +1/+1 with menace. This could be a 2 mana 5/4 with menace. That's a really solid card.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Next up is this was one of the cards I was thinking about earlier. Repair and recharge.
3 and double white. Return target artifact and enchantment or planeswalker from your grave. And it's not multiple. If I said and.
Yeah.
It's just 1. From your graveyard to the battlefield, create a tap Power Stone token. Pretty nice.
Solid card, because with like the Su-Chi Cave card, you discard it, you play this card, get it back, sack it in some way, which is going to be easy to do, and then you play that Portal.
Yep.
Portal to Phyrexia. Recruitment Officer. This is a good card because
Soldier
for 1 white
tribal.
mana, it's a 2/1 human soldier.
With 3 and a white. With the top 4 cards of your library, you may reveal a creature card with mana value 3 less from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
That is a really solid card. Because, I mean, it's 1 mana,
Like
it can get you card advantage over time, and yeah, it's a good card. It's a really good card. Next up is Reconstructed Thopter. 3 mana, 2/1 Artifact Thopter with flying and unearth 2.
That's terrible.
Awful. Awful.
Pyrrhic Blast. Pyrrhic Blast. 3 in a red. As long as you, as an additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice a creature. Pyrrhic Blast deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to any target. Draw a card. That's pretty sweet. And that could be pretty game ending with like Phyrexian Flesh Scourger.
Oh, we're on to the commons.
Bye bye.
No, we're doing the good commons. Remember? We're doing all the good.
No.
We're doing the good commons. It's not gonna take that long.
It will.
No,
let's just see how many commons there are and see if we can tackle it really fast.
No, it's like 80. We are not. No. Okay, I'm sorry if this is gonna take a little second, but we're just gonna. That's not a good common.
I give up on you, Ryan.
He's just leaving the live stream. Okay.
Bye. See you next episode.
See ya. Okay, apparently I'm doing the rest of the live stream. Goblin Blast Runner. 1 red mana, 1/2 goblin. It gets +2/+0 and has, I think my favorite uncommon is Blanchwood. It's good in mono green. Don't just love mono green. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, so it can potentially be, this card can potentially be a 1 red mana, 3/2 with menace as long as you sacrificed a permanent this turn, which is pretty solid. And that is going to be the first common. Next one is Giant Growth. 1 green mana, instant, give a creature +3/+3 until the end turn. Then Gaia's Gift. It's also an instant in green. 1 in a green, put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. It gains Reach, Trample, Indestructible, and Hexproof until the end of turn. That is potentially the best common in the set. At least in green. Because, I mean, oh my goodness, that card is insane. And Evolving Wilds, it's just a land that you can tap and sack it to search for a basic, put it into play tapped. And Disenchant, another cool card, 1 white instant. You can destroy an artifact or enchantment. Solid card. And then I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, like this last little bit, because there aren't really all that many good commons. But I'm just going to kind of like go through the commons that I think are the best. So this may take a little bit, but it's like get down to the commons that I think are good, but there just aren't many. There just aren't many. Oh my goodness. Are there just not any other good commons in this set? There we go, Recommission. 1 in a white sorcery, you can return an artifact or creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If a creature is put into play this way, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. I think that's a good card. That's a solid card. And then... And that's it. That's it for all of the commons. Those were the only good commons in the entire... Are you kidding me? That took like 2 minutes. Okay. Well, with all that aside, I'm your host, Teen Wolf. Please consider subscribing. Sorry, Ann just left like in the last couple minutes of it all. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this live stream. I'm your host, Teen Wolf. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.